The history of colors in Great Gatsby, explained through illustrations and soothing commentary. Back in 3000 BC in the Middle East, the pyramid builders and giant man-cat constructors started to emerge as the dominant civilization, known to us as the ancient Egyptians. Not only did they build giant structures, they also started using minerals and materials as colors for their artwork. The first pigment used was ochre, a mineral that created a dull yellow. Later on, they replaced this with orpiment, which was much brighter than the previous mineral. To create blue, they used azurite, and by mixing blue and yellow, they acquired green. To accomplish white, they used lime powder and gesso, which is basically chalk and gypsum. But why did they use these colors in their artwork? Why do we in modern times? Well, psychologically as humans, we form connections with different colors whether we're aware of it or not. However, these connections can be used by artists, advertisers, and authors to add a deeper level of meaning to their message. Fitzgerald uses this color symbolism cleverly in The Great Gatsby. In this video, we're going to explore the history of connections in different cultures with blue, green, yellow, and white, and see how Fitzgerald's use of these colors compare and contrast against the world's views. Let us begin with yellow. In The Great Gatsby, the colors yellow and gold are associated with money and prestige. This is shown through the book mainly with Gatsby and Daisy. A couple of examples are Gatsby's tie when reuniting with Daisy, or his car, which has a yellow exterior, or when Nick described Daisy as the Golden Girl. So it seems that Fitzgerald did some research with this color, or at least has a common connection. In Japan and Thailand, they relate honor and royalty to yellow. However, in 1930 Italy, many crime novels had yellow covers, and thus an association began. This actually supports the meaning of yellow in The Great Gatsby, for how did Gatsby acquire all of his money? Illegally. His yellow car is part of a crime, as well as the Golden Girl driving it at the time. In Spain, executioners wore yellow, and since Daisy is painted with the color, it's only fitting that she murders Miss Wilson. There are a few other things which do not support Fitzgerald's meaning. Japan considers yellow a very masculine color, but obviously Gatsby and Daisy garnish the color. Buddhism has an association with it as well, but religion is not mentioned in the book. So for the most part, yellow is commonly a royal color and meant for people of high prestige. But depending on the culture, it can be connected with a few other things. Moving on to the color of the sky and ocean. Blue is an intriguing color. It is most famously used with Dr. T.J. Eichelberg's glasses, Myrtle Wilson, and Gatsby's servants. In The Great Gatsby, it is used to denote delusion and depression. This is understandable considering in the English culture, we use the expression feeling blue to suggest that we are unhappy. This phrase actually stemmed from sailors. When their captain died, they would sail into the home port with the blue flag raised. In Germany, to be blue is to be drunk. And when you are intoxicated, you kind of lose your senses and do things you wouldn't normally do. This connotation can be linked to The Great Gatsby because just like being drunk, blue represents an alternative to reality. There are not really many variations from this meaning, so Fitzgerald seems to have been spot on. Now it's time to mix these colors and discuss green. This is the color that Gatsby reaches out to in the middle of the night. Mostly it is associated with Gatsby's hope to have Daisy in the future. In ancient Greece, this color symbolizes victory, and in a way, Gatsby wanted to succeed in obtaining Daisy again. In Japan, it represents eternal life and youthfulness. We know that Gatsby wanted to go back to the times where he and Daisy were young and happy, and this is what he yearned for when stretching out his hand towards the green light. However, this is actually impossible for him to acquire, and seems to be out of reach for him. In Indonesia, green meant just that, forbidden. Fitzgerald has seemingly picked the perfect color. Gatsby reached for a color that displayed all of his wants and desires, at the same time foreshadowing that they cannot come true. Finally, we arrive to white. Innocence is what we've been told it means in The Great Gatsby, and this can be backed up with historical evidence. In China, India, Egypt, and many other cultures, they have a connotation of white with purity and innocence. When depicting angels, who are supposed to be pure, people tend to draw them in white. However, in The Great Gatsby, white surrounds Daisy, and in the story itself, she is called selfish. The reader can clearly realize she is not innocent, but rather corrupt. This also makes sense because in many cultures they correlate white with humility, death, mourning, misfortune, unhappiness, and sorrow. In fact, white paint was toxic for artists for hundreds of years due to the lead in it. White actually has quite a morbid connotation to it, and this is displayed with Daisy in The Great Gatsby. She is not innocent and pure. She is aware of the decisions she makes. Fitzgerald seems to have gone with the latter of the two meanings. Based on Daisy as a character, it looks like Fitzgerald did in fact do research.